Well, don't these just take the cake? Wedding expert Alison McGill joins us now with her three favorite new trends in wedding cakes. And I cannot believe how good these smell.
I know, we've got like cake and florals, and we've got just this aromatic that's amazing.
It's beautiful.
I just thought it would be fun.
Yeah.
We haven't talked about cakes for a while, Annette. So I want to first off say thank you to Emily from Crumb & Berry, who's done these cakes for us. I tasked her with like, give me the top three, and she just knocked it right out of the park. She did amazing. So let's start on this end. I'm calling this my vintage vibes cake.
Yeah. Okay. So my parents' wedding cake.
Exactly.
Almost look like
all
that.
All of our parents' wedding cake look like this. So it's this vintage piping. This is a 2-tier cake, and this is the top request right now. Emily and I were talking about this, and this is like her #1. Everybody wants this vintage look for their wedding. I mean, I think it just has this throwback appeal.
Yeah.
There's something really beautiful about it, and I just like the detail on this cake is incredible.
It is.
And all hand done. 2-tier cake. This is great if you're having like a smaller wedding or you just want to have like a little bit of cake. I want to talk just briefly about cool flavors.
Okay.
So we're doing a lot of like carrot cake, spice cake, roasted banana, some interesting cakes like lavender and Earl Grey. So not your chocolate and vanilla.
Okay, I like that.
I like that. I love that.
And before we move on, if you're having a cake and you know how many people you're like are going to be guests at your wedding, like how big of a cake do you need? How many pieces?
Right. Well, that's the magic equation, isn't it? And I have the numbers in it. I do have them here in my head. So this cake here,
ask your baker.
I'm going to tell you, this cake here, it's a 3-tier one, which we'll get back to in a second. This would about 60 people.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but I always say budget for more cake than less, right?
Yes.
Yes, because we want cake for breakfast afterwards.
Yeah.
All of us.
Yeah.
Okay. I want to talk about this one beside you next. This is a 2-tier cake, and it's made with wafer paper. So I'm calling this sort of the architectural trend. It's very modern, but it's whimsical. We put fresh flowers in it. Just a really different standout piece.
Like you helped? Did you help?
I helped.
So this paper then is edible?
Yes, it is. And the fresh florals on it are nice because they're just like a little something something. And yes, when we were baking this cake, I mean, Emily was baking this cake, it just is really different and something that she actually experimented with, and we decided to run with it because I love it.
I've never seen that kind of paper before. That's absolutely beautiful.
It's very cool. It's almost like origami, right? Mm-hmm. Now this cake here, I love this. We're calling this the cake meadow.
Okay.
So we have this amazing meadow of wildflowers, which is actually just kind of a wreath built around the cake. You could make it big, big, big if you wanted to. But this kind of gives you that impact of having like florals with your cake, but not cake on your florals, if you know what I mean.
Okay, yes. So the cake itself is quite simple. It's just surrounded.
It is simple. It's got this beautiful floral embossing, like almost like a vintage effect on it as well. And these flowers just kind of like, they just add so much. And I think to be the star of your sweet table, this is an amazing thing. And this is a really emerging trend. So I'm going to say anyone who really wants to do something different, you're doing this for your 2025 wedding. It's going to look incredible.
Meadow.
The cake meadow.
Love it.
And I love actually all of these cakes together. So I always say more is more. You know that.
Yes, yes.
So all of these cakes complement each other. So how incredible to have this display at your wedding, a trio of wedding cakes. This is actually something that is coming back. We used to have multiple cakes. We moved away from it a bit. But what a photo moment, because it's all about the viral wedding, as you know.
Yes, yes. Now, are they still smushing cake in the face?
No,
is that still a thing?
That was never good.
Okay, I know. I never thought it was good either.
It was never good.
Yeah.
No, cake is for eating and enjoying and savoring.
Yes.
And the photo moment are these moments. And the fun thing with cake is playing with it and getting the dimensions and the sizes. And like, look at, like, these are really innovative to me. We haven't seen sort of cake moments this creative. I think we've been kind of stripped down in cakes.
We have, because it went for the longest time where you would just have kind of like it was just kind of like maybe a little bit of color or whatever with the fondant.
A little bit of color,
kind of
or
very
there was
smooth.
the naked cake, which hardly had anything on it. So we're back to sort of, I'm loving this whole, the vintagey, the elevatedness of it, and just be different and have fun with it.
Yeah. I don't know which one of all three of these is my favorite, but I love the idea of all three of them together.
Aren't they great? I mean, they're amazing, and I think they would just make such a beautiful statement.
Beautiful. And you can actually eat them. They taste, I'm sure, as good. They taste
amazing, and actually the cake is interestingly served now late at night, so it's not really served as dessert.
Okay.
So you have your dinner, you have your dessert at the wedding. This comes out like before dancing, so you just get a little more sugar fuel
for the sweet,
to boogie the night away.
For the sweet table.
That's right.